So basically, I have written things that I could say were maybe prescient. Maybe they had a little glimmer of truth to them. So I'm sharing these works now as a way to say, hey, things didn't turn out how I thought they would, but maybe there's a chance that some of the things that I wrote about people coming together and making changes that affect everything from human relationships to the environment, and both basically reflecting interconnectedness and sustainability. So in 2004, I wrote these pieces of writing that I just have to say were written from the perspective of someone who was a researcher in the future. So, dated 20 years in the future. This is an interview series of people who were pivotal in transforming culture. That's exciting, isn't it? So let's continue in the next video with the beginning of my story. Okay, well, this is a video in which I read some of my work, and one of the things that I can say is that I was heavily influenced by Ecotopia and writing like Starhawk's Fifth Sacred Thing. So let's get started, shall we? The Role of Youth in the Ecotopian Revolution by Aryana 2040 AD. The third wave of progressively younger generations of ecology activists was an early indicator of the Ecotopian revolution. From first-hand reports of what actually happened, as opposed to the media reporting of the time, a few years before the revolution, there was a resurgence of concern for the environment on the part of the youth in the United States. This was combined with a civil rights movement created by youth that gave pause to Congress and the leaders of the political parties. Teenagers as young as 13 years old were storming the offices of political leaders and demanding notice and audience. This sparked movements around the world. From my research, it appears the internet and instant messaging were responsible for the lightning-fast action and response on the part of the active youth. The details surrounding the citizenship were under question, and in the year 2018, when the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that the rights of personhood were granted in full to any child over the age of 10. This movement was guardedly observed and directed by the youth of the United States. In houses across the nation, youth were addressing their families in clear terms, redefining the roles within the household. In somewhat unexpected turn of events, no adult chose to restrict their child from engaging in behaviors formerly considered taboo and inappropriate. There was little of any resistance to the reality that the youth were who would have to clean up the mess that the adults were making anyway, that they'd better get started sooner or later. At least, that is what youth parties said in their interviews. So this is a short introduction. I'm going to stop and create this as a multi-part series. Join me for another episode in the next edition.